Hello YouTube, welcome to Wayne's World of Mandolin. It's Eat Your Vegetables Day. Some of you guys have teased me a little bit about that saying. I borrowed that from my wife, who is a great banjo player and banjo teacher. And there's a lot to be said for fretboard study, on any instrument. Today we're going to look at some intervals of 4 on the neck, which isn't as common as practicing through intervals of 3 or even 6s on mandolin are common because of the shapes that we have under our fingers. Before we go there, anybody that hasn't done it, if you're digging what we do here at Wayne's World of Mandolin, subscribe to the channel, give me a like on the videos if you enjoy the content. I also have a PayPal account that I've set up. You'll find the email for that in the description of every video. If you want to shoot me a few bucks there, that would be appreciated to support the channel as well. But now, on to the scale in fourths. I'm going to demonstrate this for starters in the key of G, open strings included, and we'll get into some closed position stuff later on too that's going to be even a little more challenging. But here's something that you might have done because of the cadence that we can play it with if we played the scale in 4 this way. 4 notes at a time where we're playing all 4 of those notes. I'm just going to play through the G scale with that cadence of 4 notes starting on each interval. This is probably going to be familiar to you. You've probably heard that sound. So the scale where I think we really start to learn would be to, if you wanted to think of it this way, to leave the 2 middle notes out of what you're playing so that you just went up a fourth. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then to the next interval. Then 4 above it. 4 above. And you might be thinking, okay, those don't really sound like everyday sounds that I'm going to need to play. But melodies do move in 4 like that at times. But what this is going to do, not only is it going to help train your ear to hear that interval when a movement like that happens, but also just as you, I like to call it kind of dancing on the fretboard. If we really want to be connected to the fretboard, that's what these devices are proven to do. I have a video, I can't remember which one it was, but I talked about all of these different interval things that we can work on. And today is the first time that I'm singling one of them out, and I'm just starting with fourths because I think there's probably a lot of meat on the bone. So let me walk through that with you. I know we have the concept of leaving those 2 middle intervals out, or 2 middle notes, but here's what we're playing. Open G, and then 4 above that would be the 5th fret of the G string. Now watch how these are going to become shapes that we're playing. We would play an A note, and then a D note. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the B note, 4th fret of the G string, to an E note. Again, that's 4 above. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now watch how the shape is going to change. When I go to the 5th fret, then I'm going to play the 4th fret on the D string. 1, 2, 3, 4. My fingers are closer together. If we're going to learn this in a shape-based kind of way, which I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Now once again, open, and then 4 up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Open D, then to the 5th fret of the D string. That's our movement in 4. Then to the E note. 4 above that would be an A. 1, 2, 3, 4. To an open A string. Now we're back to the 4th fret, then to the 2nd fret, recognizing that same shape. then that shape would just move up a whole step. 5th fret, which is our root note of G, to the C note. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a whole octave of this. Then you could start open A, 5th fret, 2nd fret A, to an open E, now 3rd fret. We've got that half step between B and C, so we would have the 3rd fret, and then 2nd fret. There's that smaller shape again, and then we would land at the 5th and the 3rd fret. You probably recognize that shape if you play bluegrass and you go to those shapes. But now, this is just going to help us to get around on the scale. It's work that we're supposed to do. So to close this up, I'm going to leave some of the work for you guys. If I go to the 2nd fret, let's just move this up a whole step to A. Closed position, A major scale. As I play that, once again, we could play with a cadence in 4. You could do that all the way through 2 octaves, and you should if you're not comfortable with that already. Then, in a closed position, notice we're getting a good pinky workout in this. So it's kind of 2 birds with 1 stone as far as rehearsal goes, because it's a great left hand exercise as well as learning the scale in 4ths and the ear training. There's a lot of benefit in doing this. So now, broken 4ths, closed position in A. And you could move this up. If that's too much of a stretch, maybe go up to C. Just that little bit as the frets get smaller, moving up the fretboard. If you played C major, you could reach those 4ths easier in a closed position. But this would be a great thing for you to do if you're struggling with doing that closed position. Here's how we learn. Go back to the breakdown earlier in the video of me doing this in G. Use that information to transpose this up to A and play it in a closed position. We're supposed to do that kind of work where we're looking at the fretboard of the mandolin and we're making those calculations. If you can't make that calculation moving this scale up a whole step, it's going to be really difficult to think about transposing a solo into a different key. So this could be a middle ground to get you into things like that you want to be comfortable with at some point along the way as we learn to play mandolin. So hopefully this is going to be a good helping of veggies that you guys enjoy. Good luck.